this big lot of JSON, and to test it you can just convert it on the UI. So this is just to test that it sort of succeeds, and there's some debug. And basically what's happened is it's converted all this JSON into a presentation object which Bubble understands, which looks exactly like this JSON, but it's a bubble object. And I'll just clear the DB. So now I suspect what you want to do is you want to convert this on the back end into the database. So we're going to take this JSON, convert into here, and you'll see as it recurses through the object, it creates the presentation, the two sections, the slide, and the bullet points. So the way that works under the covers, and it's different to the way we previously did it because it has this 4 tiers of objects. So the way that works is if you look in the database, you'll see there's a presentation, and you'll see this special type here. So this has got a sectionless type, which is of a custom type. And what I've done is I've kind of duplicated the custom type with a simple type. So here's a section, and a section has a title and an order, and also has and I've linked it back to the presentation, and it has this custom type of slides. And then a slide has a title, a bullet point list, an order, it belongs to a presentation, and it belongs to a section. So what I haven't done, and you might want this, but I thought the level of recursion that was going on was already getting a bit mind-blowing, as I just stored the bullet list as texts. They are just a text. The bullet list is a list of texts. So wherever I've used a sort of custom type, I've hopefully named it custom, so it's easy to get confused with the bubble type and the plugin custom type. I've hopefully done that. So that's got the word custom in it, and that's a presentation. And we don't store the presentation, so I'm going to call this custom list, to be honest. Right, that's a bit better. So just so that when you're using the app, you know whether you're using the bubble plugin type or you're using the type in here. And the reason I expanded that out is because in the editor here you can't actually view, if you go in here, you can't actually view what this custom type is. The editor doesn't let you see inside there, but I think for sure you actually do want to see inside here. It's really handy to be able to use the editor to see what the objects are. So we're kind of duplicating the storage in two different types, but in my experience this is a lot more helpful than just using the bubble native types. So let's just get this. So I think that does it. I think it's a little bit of handling. So if your JSON's not quite right, it blows up with a unexpected, So the thing is, though, that the names of these fields are fixed. So you can't call the order the index, for example, and you can't call the sliders or the slide list custom. Your JSON that comes in has to look exactly like what you've specified. But I think that achieves what you wanted to achieve. Let's just check it's still working. So the real meat of it comes in here. So when you click this button, convert it into the DB, you first call you're going to call a backend workflow, passing in the JSON. Then you come here, and then we call the plugin method, and we'll give it the JSON string, and we need to tell, as part of it, you need to say, give it this type, this custom, you have to specify in the list of types one of them, once you bring the plugin in, will be this custom pres flow, and then you create new, and then you just have to sort of, I would very carefully copy these recursive workflows. So it creates a new presentation, and it sets a custom list of the custom type, and then it starts its recursion, which creates the sections. It creates a section, and it's setting the sort of, it's unmarshalling the things in the custom type, and it's setting the custom type as well. And then it recurses through all the slides, and it recurses through all the sections, and then the slides. The slides are very simple, so you can just see this setting the bullet point list here. It'll take a bit more time, and it'll increase the complexity of this if you want the bullet points to be an object in themselves. So, and you might want to be able to do that because you might want to be able to like auto bind onto the bullet points. Maybe let me know if you want to do that. It might take a little bit more time. Really, the time is just the complexity of these workflows. You could, I think, just without my help, just figure out how to create another type, which is the bullet point type. You would do this. I could make a working example for you, but it's just this bullet point set list would basically create something called a bullet, and would recurse through the bullets and create bullets, and then you wouldn't have to change anything in the plugin. You just have to change this workflow in here. It gets another layer of, once you recurse through the sections, then you recurse through the slides, then you recurse through the bullets, and you just have to follow this pattern. But it will get more complicated. It's just more of the same level of complexity, but recursion gets a bit of mind-blowingly complicated at times. But you can see it working here because it's taken this Json, and here it is in the database. So let me know if that is what you have in mind. It is probably easier for you to look at this app and then transpose what I've done into your app than it is for me to figure out how your app works. But I can do that. It would be more chargeable time, bluntly. So if you want me to do that, I can. But it takes quite a lot of brain power time to decipher other people's apps and figure out how to make it all work. And I'm sure you understand that. But it's nice and straightforward to do it in an app like this.